want to go about halfway. So here, I'll get on the other side of you. Get close. So, yeah.
It doesn't look like it's getting really wet. You'll want to make sure to get like the bend in the legs so that those feathers will come off easy too.
Up towards the ankles over here.
Yeah.
Let's swing on the short one.
We're getting there. I was thinking today about our ability to adapt to discomfort. It's been a big theme in mine and Corey's life since we chose to move out to the farm like 7-8 months ago. It was last July. I'm not going to do the math right now. But a lot of things that we take for granted in our lives changed pretty dramatically. The system in which we bathe, cook, sleep, the daily ambient temperatures in our living space, the way we go to the bathroom, everything became more uncomfortable, and dramatically so at first, because though we had sort of tried to train ourselves and prepare for this level of discomfort by doing the earthship builds in Montana. You know, the first year it was ridiculously hot, over 100 degrees, living in the school bus, using porta potties every day, communal cooking over a Coleman stove. And then the second year it was wet and cold, and we lived in a bombed out camper filled with rats that had no windows, even more dramatically uncomfortable. But, you know, those experiences were 3 weeks and 2 weeks, respectively. And for the record, I do recommend that everybody try to do an earthship build at some point. It's one of the most fun, character-building, eye-opening experiences I've ever had. And I would say that 3 weeks is about the right time, because we spent the first week really just getting used to the discomfort. And then the second week, we kind of had adapted to it, and we were starting to build routines and habits and get some work done. But it wasn't really until the third week, when we'd become comfortable with the discomfort and the routine and the other people, that we really started to have fun and let our hair down and form deep friendships that, you know, we still maintain long distance to this day. I mean, some of our closest friends are people that we played construction out in the desert with for 3 weeks. The second time, in 2 weeks, we still had a great time, but I don't think that it felt quite long enough to really immerse yourself. Anyway, getting back to the whole farm life thing, like I said, we're looking at 7 or 8 months now. So we've had plenty of time to solve the easy problems. And that was one thing that I really prided myself with on the Earthship build site, is identifying problems that I could solve quickly and easily with materials at hand and just a few people, you know. Out here, most of those solutions got exhausted in the first couple of months. I mean, we very quickly figured out how to use what we had to easily improve our situation, and then it became a series of really expensive contracts with outside contractors, or needing materials or funding that we didn't have, or maybe not necessarily knowing how to solve certain problems. And there are still some problems on the farm that we don't have a solution for, and people we talk to don't seem to have a solution for them. So it's going to come down to reading the right article or book, or asking the right person, or just trying the right solution until something sticks. But many of the things we're doing now have become, we've gone well past routine, and I think that now, gosh, some of the things that felt like a stretch at the beginning, like using a 5-gallon bucket compost toilet, that feels like a luxury now. I don't miss flush toilets. I enjoy them when I get to use them, but I don't feel uncomfortable on my 5-gallon compost toilet. And a lot of that is because I've crafted comfort around that system. I've improved that system. I've immersed myself in that system. And God, what's going to happen in 5 years of using a compost toilet? By then, I'm going to have this thing nailed. You know, I have a lot of confidence in that. And there are other things like dishes that I have to carry 10 gallons of water about 200 yards from the fresh water. And that's annoying, especially when the weather is bad. But I have felt myself getting a lot stronger having to do that every day. And I do enjoy washing dishes at a slow pace. You know, it probably takes me an hour to wash dishes now because I have to, well, first I have to heat up the water for 45 minutes in a trough heater. And then I get to wash dishes with hot water for about an hour. And I just listen to a podcast and I relax. And I don't have freshly running water. I have a bilge pump that I operate with a foot pump. So I only get intermittent squirts of water. So I spend a lot of time lathering and scrubbing and hand rinsing things. And I'm just using the dishes as an example, but it's become a very meditative, visceral activity, and it takes a lot longer than it used to take, but I'm not upset about it. It feels like I'm doing it right. It feels like washing dishes should be something that I think about and that I'm considerate about. And when I think about it, in the past, I just threw everything in the sink until it piled up, and then I put it in the dishwasher, and then I hit go. And I was annoyed at the 5 minutes it took me to have to load the dishwasher. And then in an hour, I was annoyed at the 10 minutes it took me to put all the dishes away. Because that took time away from what? Playing video games or watching TV? You know, I've been guilty of it too, but I think a lot of people say if I had more time in my day, then for sure I would do the meaningful things like write my novel or paint or call my family members that I haven't spoken to in years. You know, if I had the time, I would do those things. But I don't think that those things automatically just happen when you cleave out an empty space in your life. I think you have to you still have to do it. You still have to intentionally go do the thing. And I believe that I probably had the space in my life to do a lot of these things before I, you know, uprooted my original routine and moved out here to the farm. I could have been writing my novel. I could have been connecting with people. I could have been doing all these other things. But I think that work was an easy excuse. And having, you know, a 9-to-5 job and, you know, the few house chores that I used to have compared to what I have to do now, it was very convenient to say, if my life were less busy, if A were B and X were Y and Z, then the conditions would be right for me to do these things that I want to do. And I think now that was a lot of me bullshitting myself and a lot of dressing up procrastination. Because I really think that if you just do the thing, you'll do the thing. If you want to do the thing, do the thing. Make the time to do the thing. Yeah, and maybe stop trying to rush through certain chores. I mean, maybe be considerate. I don't know, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling me what to do. I'm trying to talk through my own life. I don't give a shit about your life or what you do. Do what you want to do. I mean, it's not that I don't give a shit about you. I'm sure you're great. But I'm trying to spend time figuring out what I want to do. And that process over the last 7 or 8 months has been very enlightening and filled with discomfort, but ultimately, in what I would say is less time than I expected, is settling into a life in which I am generally a lot more happy and satisfied. And I think I'm trying to do the math on exactly what narrative got me here. And that's some of it.